All right, guys, so what we're doing today is we're going to be looking for a short in the system itself. So what we want to do beforehand is that we want to make sure that we reset our fuse. If it popped the fuse, then we want to make sure that we install a fuse popper or fuse saver. So once we do that, then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the thermostat, remove the wires, go to the board and remove the wires, and then we're going to check for continuity. So you're going to put your meter on continuity, make sure that it beeps. Always test this first, because if you start going through the whole thing and you never set it up to beep, and we're going to spend a little bit of time that we probably shouldn't have. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to each one and just simply touch it on each lead, and then you move on to the next one. Do the exact same thing. And you're going to do that on this end, and we're going to do this on this end. If you get a beep over here, then we know that one of the wires is touching another wire, and that's a problem, and then the issue is going to be the T-stat wire itself, right? But let's say we didn't get a beep here. The next thing you're going to do is, instead of going from here to here, we're going to go from the board to the contactor, right? And we're going to do the same process. We're going to move the wires going from the board and the wires going to the contactor, and we're going to check for continuity on each one to make sure that we do not get a beep, right? If we get a beep, that's telling us that we do have a short in the wires itself, okay? Now, let's say that you didn't get a beep on the wires for the inside or the outside. The next thing we want to do is we want to check for continuity. I'm sorry, not continuity. We're going to check for ohms of resistance. We're going to go to ohms, and we're going to take our leads and we're going to put it on both sides. Make sure that you remove the wires from your contactor and that the power off is at the disconnect. So we'll check here, we're at 14. What we're seeing now is ideally anywhere between 17 to 13 ohms of resistance on the low side. So if you check that and it's good, then the next thing we want to look at is we want to see, maybe it's the board itself. But the board, what I would want you to do is remove all the wires that are going to your terminals. Everything else we're going to leave plugged in. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump it from R to Y using our jumpers. And once we've jumped it, the system should kick on. Now, if it doesn't kick on and it pops again, then the issue is going to be on our wires that are going to our limit switches. We're going to do an inspection of the wires to make sure that it's not touching any ground. And once we've inspected them, if everything looks good, then the issue is going to be your board itself. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at the system having a break, where the thermostat's calling for cool, but nothing's happening. So in the event that nothing's happening, period, we want to start, it's going to be between the thermostat and the board itself. And the way we do that is that we remove the wires from both ends, and we'll take one side and we'll wire nut them together. Depending on how many wires will depend on the size of the wire nut you use. So once you've wired knotted one side, we're going to grab our meter, put it for continuity, and again, always test. And then we're going to go from each wire to make sure that we're getting continuity on all the wires. All right, so right there, we're not getting a beep. Everybody else is getting a beep. So then what you would do is you would grab that wire, test all the other wires, and we're not getting a beep. Now, you would want to do this all the way around just to make sure that that's the only one that's broken. And in this case, that's definitely it. It's gonna be our blue wire here. So Again, you would wire up one end, check continuity on the other end. Once you find the one that's a problem, you would clamp onto that one and go through all the wires, and that's gonna guarantee that that's the issue.